Alright, so let's roll some Fenders. So this is usually not a video that I normally do. I normally stick to the tuning side of things, but with this infection and virus going around, I figured I'd make some extra videos since I'm home most of the time anyway. And I've been wanting to roll the Fenders. So the videos on YouTube are great, basic stuff, but they don't actually show you what they do to roll the fenders and the small things to look for. And I've already done the passenger side, so I'm doing the driver's side now. So I'll walk through that and we'll do it together. So the first thing you're going to need is obviously a fender roller. I have right here the, if I don't scrape my car up, the Eastwood fender roller. Goes for about 70 to 80 bucks or so after ship or with shipping, plus shipping. So I just picked this up, and next thing you're gonna need is a hot air gun. This is a Harbor Freight cheapie, but it works just fine. You're gonna want to heat up the metal and the paint when you start to bend it, otherwise it'll start chipping. This being a 2006, I already noticed chipping on the car when I was doing it. No matter what heat I gave it, the more heat I gave it, the less the cracks happened. But the cracks seem to happen on the inside of the lip that I actually was rolling. So I'm going to have to go back and put some hardener. A little trick I used from some old guys who built custom cars and restored cars. Said to use nail polish, the clear nail polish. Apply that and it will harden, at least protect it. But so we'll worry about that later. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of time-lapse this beginning part. Got to remove the brake calipers here and get everything set up, and then I'll come back and go into detail. Okay, so the brake caliper's off, the brakes are off, caliper's hanging, protect the brake line, and we're gonna get this fender roller on. So it comes with these little, let me get them all right here. These little washer parts. We got a bevel on one side, and they all go onto your lug nuts. So I'm using 4. The 5th one is technically stuck in the middle, right behind where this roller's at, or it pivots into. Can't use that one technically because if your car is too lowered, you have to follow the directions by Eastwood and actually use the mount, this whole mount, and slide it down. Whereas it was a good 6-7 inches taller and just wouldn't work on a lower car like mine. So make sure you adjust accordingly for that. So the major thing with this whole thing is heat. You really want to apply heat properly and evenly, and keep the temperature kind of up while you're doing this, so that the metal can roll a lot easier. Now this metal is really thin already, so it's not really going to be a big deal. Just don't go fast. Take your time. Well, it took me about half an hour to actually roll the side, and go from there. You don't have to tighten these down too much, but just get a good tight lip in there. Alright, so I'm going to bring the camera in nice and close. I want to show you how to actually get this set up, or at least how I think it should work and how I thought about it. So with it lowered in the small position here, where the pin is on the very bottom, and the cotter pin is here, where normally you'd use these two guys. Look at this. So make sure that you're using the lower 2 pins to set it up, instead of this top 2 pins here that they talk about in the manual. So if you're looking up here, I have everything on pretty much the lowest setting. The shaft itself is all the way down. The black dial is here to make the shaft stop being from going up and down. And then you have the lock here that tilts this guy forward and backward, so that you can change the angle of this roller. So the way I have it right now is about the best I can get it. As far as up, I don't want to come in, and let me go ahead and change it real quick. I don't want to come in directly at it like that. that's gonna push this lip too fast into a, you're at like a 90-degree angle right now. So if you don't want to go up like to 120, 150 degree angle that fast. And sorry, the camera keeps focusing in. So you want to make sure you start with at a higher pitch in this case, so that when you come at it, you're at a much lower angle. So you're going from 90 degrees to maybe 100 degrees, and you're working about every 100 degrees up till that lip is pretty much done a U shape in a sense and flipped back up. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and remove any pieces of clips that the Subaru may have, or your car may have if you're using a different car. So we Subaru guys, we got these clips that hold the plastic on, and it's literally just a small little clip. So these little clips here, this basically holds the plastic to the fender itself. There's 2 of them usually, 1 on each side. Sometimes there's 3. Get those removed. And I actually have some damage to mine here, so hopefully that rolling it's not going to be too big of a deal. I'm going to tuck the plastic underneath, make sure all that plastic is pushed out of the way, or at least not going to be part of the roller. Front bumpers, there's nothing here in the way. On the side here, which you can't see, I'll just show you though. You're not going to go past this part due to the rolling, at least I'm not going to. So we'll leave that there. Tire should be not locked, not in gear or anything. This is the front of the car. And we'll pick up the heat. Harbor Freight, like I said. This is, I'll put in a high setting and I'll just start on this lower side. I'll do maybe 6 inches to a foot from the start to the end. Just do a nice sweeping weave. Not getting too close, and about an inch or 2 away. Let me take my glove off because I kind of use like a feel. See how hot it is. I think the manual says to be about 120 degrees. I guess you could do that. I don't know how you'd actually tell the temperature without like an IR gun or something. But just heat it up. Put your hand there. You'll feel it's just a little bit too hot to the touch. We'll get this bad boy set up. Like I said, we'll want to push them up as much as I can. Get the roller locked in. We'll bring it in. We'll just start moving slowly. You'll see it push. You'll see it angle a little bit. That's fine. I just want to start that lip, move it about 3 or 4 millimeters. Because I'm only covering this section here, which is about 10 inches or so. Give it a nice little turn. We'll go a little teeny bit deeper. Because I don't want to push the fender out, because technically that's what I'm doing, is pushing the fender while I'm starting this lip. Looking good. Nice and slowly, keep turning. Alright, I'll back off a little bit. Check it. Lip's starting to peel under. No cracking yet. Did pretty good on this side, so that's good. Now let's heat up this other side. On the final last part, we're gonna put, so we started here, way up here, and we came down, and now we're gonna come pretty much with this guy being a 90-degree angle, and then we're gonna heat the whole thing, and we're gonna put the final touching to create the full loop and push the fender all the way in and roll it. So let me heat it up real quick. pretty much it. The fenders are rolled. Let me get some good shots inside if I can, and I'll show you what's going on. Alright, so let me show you what it looks like rolled. I didn't do it before, but you can probably look at your car and see what it before looks like. So let me show you what it after is. So, starting down here, you can see where I ended the roll because of this guy here. I didn't want to go all the way down. So I created a subtle twist in, and then as I went up more and more, I created more of a twist. Same around here. You can see I didn't do I don't know how far you're supposed to go with the roll. I'm probably at like 170 degrees or whatever. Flip up all the way around. So I think it all came out pretty good. No issues here. So there was a few places I can't tell you where it cracked. That was from a previous crack there. If you look close enough, I think you can actually see if it'll zoom in. So that's it. That's how you roll your fenders. I'll put some information together and call it a day.